All Things Motoring International is owned and brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, CHANGECARS. Our name says it all. Whether you're looking to sell, need advice, need finance, or need insurance, CHANGECARS has you covered. Coming up this week on All Things Motoring International, Mike attends the Jaguar Club Day at the Vaal Dam. And Ernest is back with a screaming V10 Retro review. This is a show with growls and purrs.
Does a perfect setting exist? We think it does. Behind us, the beautiful banks of the Vaal Dam, and surrounding us, the most incredible collection of Jaguars in South Africa. Is that an opinion? No, that is a fact. Audi, BMW and Mercedes, three marques that exist and thrive simply by competing with each other. Ferrari, Lamborghini and Porsche, a brand I love, the same holds true. Then you get Jaguar, and Jaguar has no natural enemies. You don't believe me? Watch this. We have the privilege of visiting many clubs across the country, and some of them stand out for all the right reasons. Today, with the Jaguar Club, you stand out for all the right reasons. Bob, you're the chairman, Paul, the vice chairman. Starting with you, Bob, a club like this, how long has it been going?
It's been going since the late 70s, early 80s. We've lost some of the records, but I would say since about 1980.
Almost like me, I've been going since the early 70s, 1973. Members today, what are we looking at?
Approximately 150 members.
That's right.
Mainly across the Gauteng, Highveld region. Our club is called Jaguar Club Northern Regions, and that's our base. But we do have members in Bloemfontein and in Natal as well.
But now, Paul, the success of a club is the membership, and is it growing?
It's growing at the moment, and one of the other things that's really fantastic about it is our events are really well subscribed. Today is one of the best subscribed events we've had for a long time. We try and take people to places that they wouldn't normally go to, and so they experience something different. Today is an exceptionally different day that we're experiencing.
For me, what is stand out is you've got the latest, you've got the oldest, you've got something in the middle, and every one of them is in absolute pristine condition. What does it take to put an event like this together?
Well, it takes somebody like Kobus, who's absolutely ecstatic about his cars. He loves it, he loves talking about it. I mean, the amount of effort that he's put into where we are today has just been unbelievable. He's just so responsive in everything you ask him. It's been fantastic.
Beautiful. Now, Bob, as a chairman, the love for Jaguar, where does that come from?
For me personally, it started when I was growing up in the UK. The Jaguar was the car that you drove if you were a business owner or a pop star or a footballer. I grew up with Princess Diana driving an XJS, and the Saint, the TV series, driving an XJS. So for me, the XJS was the car that I aspired to own.
Every club has an ethos. There's no question. The Jaguar Club, it's about warmth, attracting new members, the future, the past, the present. This is a brand that is truly here to stay. I want to join the club. How do I go about it, Bob?
Best place is to go onto our website, jagclub.co.za.
Paul, I can see you wanting to say something to me. You've got a big smile on your face. What is a cherry on top?
I have, Mark, and one of the great things about our club is we have the most fantastic magazine that we produce once every quarter. It's lovely, it's got history, it's got modern stuff. It's even got Formula E if you're interested in Formula E in it. We distribute it to the dealers, so if you're not a member of the club, then go pop into your local dealer and have a look and see it, and have a look at the magazine. It's fantastic.
Bob, Paul, when you have another event, please, who are you going to invite?
all things motoring.
We appreciate that. May you, the club, the members go from strength to strength. Wishing you the very, very best.
Thank you very much.
If there's one thing I pride myself on, I do not have a jealous bone in my body. However, jealousy and enviousness is two different things. I do have envy. Next to me is the most incredible 1950s Jaguar owned by Cobus van Wyk. We're at your incredible premises on the Vaal Dam for a wonderful day. Cobus, tell us about this beauty behind us.
It is a very special car. It is one of the three, a copy, or what I would call a tool room copy.
Yeah.
That means every part on it is exactly as per the car that raced in 1953. And it's a copy of the lightweight. Three of them were built for the race in 1953. A lightweight C-type,
Right.
1953.
In the 1950s, the most prestigious race on the racing calendar, along with Monaco, which was a Grand Prix, was the Le Mans 24 hours or 24 hours of Le Mans, depending how you want to pronounce it. Jaguar won that race 5 out of 10 times in that period, which is incredible. But this particular example, you said a replica?
Yes, it's a replica, but as I say, really I went through flat out to get all the original parts for this car. So this car is exactly as per that car that won the Le Mans in
Amazing.
53. And then that year in 53, the Jaguar came first, second and fourth.
Somebody else had to have a place on the podium. But Cobus, clearly a Jaguar fan, and it shows. If I say to you, and it's a loaded question, your pride and joy, what would it be?
The C-type definitely.
Of course.
And close to that is, I've got an OBL Jaguar E-type, and there's only one in South Africa. OBL stands for outside bonnet lock.
Right.
And that car is like working on a Picasso painting.
From where we see it today on screen until it's on the road, how long are we looking at? 2 years, 3 years?
No. I don't work on the in years, lots of years. That car, that OBL will be done by the end of this year.
That is incredible.
All the parts, most of the components are already ready. I'm waiting for my son, who is a professional Jaguar E-type restorer, unfortunately leaving for Australia. But he is going to have the car painted within the next 3 weeks.
That's
done.
incredible.
And then as soon as that car comes back here, I'm full blast into it and fitting the parts that's already prepared. So it won't take that long. By the end of the year, the car's done.
So Cobus, being here, there's two things for me that are crystal clear. One of them is a wish that you would join the civil service, because with an attitude like that, where you say, I don't take years, I take months, that's what we need in South Africa. You have an exceptional collection. I wish you the very best with the projects, with the existing vehicles, and may you go from strength to strength in every way.
Thank you.
Coming up after the break, Ernest is back with a screaming V10 Retro review.
Hey, there's a ton of groceries still in the car.
Well, it's not a race. Take a break.
Are you looking to sell? Visit Change Cars and click on the Selling tab.
I'm here with Matthew. Matthew, how you doing?
Well, and you?
Good, thank you, sir. And Matthew's part of the BMW crew that's come out today, and he has the privilege to drive this yellow beauty behind us. Matthew, what did you do to be honoured with this?
Well, a little bit of hard work and dedication. We're part of the committee of the BMW Car Club of Gauteng, and luckily I've got the honour to drive this baby for most of this year. In the race series, we do time trials, we do track days, we do skid pan events. Nice. So I'm the nominated guy this year.
Well, that is a privilege. Looking at the car, are the indicators on this model for show, or?
I'm not sure. I think they do work.
Possible.
Most of the time.
Never used them. Okay. And then your drive style when you're in it, if you're not on the racetrack, do you yell out destinations like Randburg, Randburg?
Yeah, it's up like this or down like this. Different destinations, but yeah, most of the time we got a full package.
V10s are normally known for Formula One cars and R8s and Lamborghinis, there is one other V10 that sometimes isn't talked about and is sometimes forgotten. We came here to do a specific type of intro, but I saw this car at the car wash, and Shiraz, I just had to jump straight into it.
So yeah, this V10, I think people don't talk about it because some people are scared about it. There is a story with this V10 as we'll go through it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm lucky enough to own one of BMW's only V10s. Probably the only V10 that they'll ever make, naturally aspirated, so it's just before those turbo motors came in.
Yeah. While Nogalunga at the back completes the job and gets us ready for the road, let's talk about this car and that engine. We're going to start with the styling. Before the M4 went viral, this car went viral because everybody complained about the styling in the photos.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. With BMW, there's been a few style designs. Even the M Coupe, the clown shoe, you know,
Yes.
that was another topic. We see that's a trend of BMW
I
and
think
their
they're trolling
designs.
people.
Yeah, with regards to BMW designs, I always feel that BMW designs are bold when they come out.
Yes.
But when they're going out of production, those designs now cling on to you and they look better when it was introduced.
Yeah.
So they age much better, you know, compared to the other mainstream cars. And I think that's where this car is. I mean, with Chris Bangle, he designed the 7 Series in this era, and it was a big talking point. But now if you look at it, yeah, it stands out, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, this car as it is today, it's about 20 years old.
Wow. Amazing, and that's the thing about cars that come out that are controversial when they are first designed. They age well. If you look at this car now, people universally respect this car in a different way.
100%. Firstly, because of that mighty V10 engine. You know, to see a car like this 20 years later still running, the V10 engine still going, despite what people think, okay, it's unreliable or this, but it just shows that if you keep your hand on the car properly, it will last.
So let's have a look inside and see what's going on inside the BMW M5 V10. Now, let's bear in mind that this car was 950 plus thousand when it was for sale back in 2005. This, of course, being a 2005 model. So it was a very, very expensive car, even by modern standards. Let's look at the steering wheel. You've got controls on the steering wheel over here. It doesn't include volume, which is a little confusing. I think, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what all of these buttons do. But you've got a little M badge here and almost everywhere to remind you what this is. What's fascinating as we move to the middle and center console over here is that you've got the power button, which is connected to that M button over there, but you can also separately control the DSC. DSC, people, in 2005, EDC, which is the electronic damper control system, and then you've got the gearbox speed settings over here for that gearbox. Now let's talk about that gearbox. Available in manual in North America, South Africa got the automated gearbox. Now this isn't an automatic gearbox, it's actually a manual gearbox that's got some workers inside there changing the gears for you. A pro tip that I got from a friend of mine, Nian, is that when you're changing gears while driving around, rather just breathe off the gas and then get back on the power again like you're changing with the manual gearbox. Not a bad gearbox per se, but I don't think it matches up with the big party trick on this car, which is of course that V10.
Incidentally, the car also took part in the Samola Hill climb this year, clinching third in its class and performing flawlessly.
So consider that the year is 2005 and you've got R1 million to spend. The BMW drops this. The BMW M5 V10. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like a M5 should have that many cylinders, but it does. And the best way to experience those cylinders is to press that M button over there. take it all the way to about 8,000 RPM. Something like that. But because this is a private car, I'm going to slow things down a bit and tell you guys about the experience. So, what I'm seeing in front of me here, heads-up display. Again, technology that was not available at the time, at least not commonplace. Now, obviously, with it being V10, it's got 500 cc's per cylinder, which means that each one of those cylinders needs to be fed with fuel. So don't expect to be getting crazy good fuel consumption, but this car is not about fuel consumption. It's about driver enjoyment, but you've got space for the kids. Once you get used to the gearbox, then you can really enjoy that engine. After a brief chat with the owner, you've got to drive this car, in his opinion, in manual mode to get the most out of it and to look after that gearbox. Also, to look after the engine, he constantly checks to make sure that the oil levels are topped up, and you can actually do that through the system over here that BMW provides. You can see the oil levels, you can see the oil temperature. It's basically a full diagnostic system built into the car. It's got launch control, it's got various SMG drive logic modes, which means that you can set it all the way up to S6 where everything is turned off. That was the fuel buzzer, because after a couple of pulls, I've used up quite a bit of fuel. Although this car is standard, it's also Cape Town standard, which means it's got uprated springs, and also it's got an exhaust that's slightly tuned to make it very, very that. Oh my goodness me. Does that not sound like one of the best sounds in all of motoring? No wonder the V10 era in Formula One was as popular and as remembered and fondly remembered as it is. I haven't even spoken about the handling of this car, which is, even by modern standards, very, very good. I've always said that 90s motoring is peak motoring, and if that is true, then this is peak motoring plus about 15% VAT. It is over the top in many, many ways, including that V10 engine. But isn't that what engineering is supposed to be? Engineering is supposed to push the limits, take things to the next level, and pave the way for cars and engineers of the future. I think this car did exactly that, and although Chris Bangle gets a bit of a bad rep, I think he can rest easy knowing that he certainly created a future classic.
Coming up after the break, Mike continues his visit to the Jaguar Club Day at the Vaal Dam. Did you know? Jaguar was founded in 1922 by two motorcycle enthusiasts, Sir William Lyons and William Walmsley, who got into the business of manufacturing motorcycle accessories. In no time, they evolved to coach building and then finally transitioned to automobile manufacturing. In 1926, the company's name was changed to SS Cars Limited. The first ever vehicle produced under the SS brand name was the SS1. The two-seater sports car debuted in 1929 at the London Motor Show. By 1945, the British car brand officially changed its name to the Jaguar Car Company. Jaguar has built iconic cars over the years, as well as graced our silver screens with some of the most beautiful cars ever produced. Looking for finance and insurance? Visit Change Cars and click on the Financial Products tab.
Many times I've spoken about unfinished business, and behind me a Jaguar F-Type 280 kilowatts, this is proper unfinished business. 2013, when this car came out, I was on a cruise ship with a mate of mine looking at the magazine. Immediately I said, I love. I never bought it, but my friend Sean, who's been on the show, did buy it. Craig, you use this car the right way. You use it every day.
Correct, Michael. I'm the second owner. I bought it 3 years ago with 48,000 kilos on the clock. It's
Beautiful
now,
mileage at the time.
Unreal. It's now got 110,000 kilos on the clock. I daily the vehicle every single day. Relatively speaking, it's light on fuel.
Correct.
As long as you don't push the loud pedal too far down. It's an absolute pleasure to drive. It puts a smile on my face every time I get behind the wheel. And a car like this should not be kept in the garage. You should drive it. It's a driver's car.
Now the example you've got, for me, is the perfect one. 280 kilowatts, higher than the entry-level 250 kilowatts, and just below the 5-litre V8, which is a bit of an animal that wants to kill you. As an everyday driver, do you ever feel nervous in this car?
If you climb onto the accelerator a little bit too quick, the tail does get happy. Yeah. But other than that, it's drivable. I don't have any issues driving it, and it drives really, really nicely. I buy all the parts from Land Rover, Jaguar, West Rand, and to give you an indication, to do an oil change.
Before you tell us, I bet you, give it some thought, an annual service or 10,000 kilometer service, have a figure in mind. I promise you, you're going to be wrong, positively wrong.
Yeah, to do an annual service, and another thing, Jaguar Land Rover is 26,000 kilos, I do it every 13. So between 10 and 13 it gets an oil change. To do an oil change using a top quality synthetic oil and an oil filter from Jaguar Land Rover, you're looking at about 2,500 Rand.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Craig, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking to you. You've got a pristine example. You use it the right way. It's not an ornament. Use it
every day.
I always tell people, if ever you want to sell it, you know where it's going. You've been interviewed by Michael.
Thank you, sir.
When you have an incredible product like Jaguar Land Rover, how do you market it? You come up with an exquisite name, Jaguar Land Rover Experience. That is an exquisite name. Andrew, tell us about the product.
I think the word experience speaks for itself. It's where you get an opportunity to experience what the brand really has to offer, the full performance of the different powertrains, and being anything from the supercharged V8s to the all-electric product that we have here with us today.
Performance on electric vehicles is absolutely stonking. What are we looking at here, 0 to 100?
So 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds, which is enough to take most people by surprise.
Now that is smashing a Golf GTI, that is smashing a Golf R, that is supercar territory. So now in terms of range, open road, I believe around 350 to 400 kilometers an hour and slightly more in town. Is that achievable?
Absolutely, thanks to the regenerative braking that we have. So majority of the braking in town driving is actually done by the electric motors. Being able to harvest that energy without actually putting it back into the battery.
We often say go big or go home. This is clearly going big or going home. Is there something below this?
Yes, we have got something that can help you get towards the electric life, and we've got the plug-in hybrid options available. We can learn to use electric on your day-to-day environment, but still having the peace of mind with your petrol tank that can do your open road driving comfortably.
But in its natural environment, and I think that is the key. Where are you located and how do we get hold of you?
So we are based in Lone Hill. We've got conference facilities, a restaurant to bring the family through as well for some lunch or some breakfast if you like. And then if you are ever interested in doing an advanced driving course, you can jump onto our website and book a course directly online, choose the car. It's a one-on-one session with an instructor.
Superb. Andrew, wishing you and the team at Jaguar Land Rover South Africa and at Bryanton the very best. Thank you for chatting to us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Coming up next week on All Things Motoring International, Mike completes his trip with the Jaguars, and Ernest attends a Honda Day in Cape Town. This is a show for all the enthusiasts among us.
buying a classic car, what's good, what's bad.
When you talk about a carburetor, for those of you who don't know, it's equivalent of a fuel injection, just about 40 years older.
I saw the car at the car wash and she had seen.
Anything that's cheap to own, looks this good, goes this good, I want it. Craig.
Why do you think I bought it?
For the editors, what is your surname and spelling, please?
Craig Brown.
Oh, wow.
Another Brown. Easy.
Okay, we got that.
I should have asked before I gave you the mic. I could have worked that out very quickly.
You are so excited to get that brand new vehicle, but you're looking for a specific model and specific color. Only to be told, sorry, there are none available. Change Cars, SA's most trusted online platform, will find exactly what you need, from A to V and everything in between. Change Cars, because that's what you want to do, and it's who we are. All Things Motoring International was brought to you by SA's most trusted online vehicle platform, Change Cars. Our name says it all. There is no safer online vehicle platform. That's not an opinion, that's a fact.